Jayden Daniels is so special. And if he can go into Lambeau Field Thursday night football and beat Green Bay, they done won. Okay? Like, they're them.
Samaria. So tonight we got some Thursday night football. And you know what? Historically, I feel like Thursday night football games are not the best. Tonight's game I'm actually pretty excited for. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Washington Commanders, which I think is going to be a phenomenal game. Two teams that I expect to see go very far in the playoffs this year in that NFC conference. What are your thoughts on tonight's matchup?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I think that we thought we saw some really good games week one, but this is kind of taking the cake. We know that Micah Parsons was limited against the Lions. I think he's going to be 100% or close to it in this matchup. And I think what's interesting is Jayden Daniels is so special in what we've already seen. And if he can go into Lambeau Field Thursday night football and beat Green Bay, they done won. Okay? Like, they're them. Okay, I'm serious.
So
another story.
You think the winner? Oh, let me ask you this real quick. Do you feel like the winner of this game is going to be the front runner for NFC Championship contention? Like, do you feel like this is going to be the team that defines the NFC?
Yeah, I think that the win will mean more to Washington. If Green Bay wins, great, really? Right? I still think that we see them as a contender in the NFC. I think that they're still a really good franchise, but I think if Washington goes into Lambeau and wins tonight, I think that they are the clear front runners. There's no doubt about that.
You know, that's interesting because I see that a little bit differently. If Jordan Love is able to beat Jayden Daniels, then I think that bodes extremely well for Green Bay. Like when we talk about the Green Bay Packers, I think last on that list that we get to reasons as to why they have championship aspirations is probably Jordan Love, which is very contrary to what we normally think about teams, right? Normally we lead with the quarterback and we then fill in the pieces of why the team is so great. Jordan Love is kind of flying a lot under the radar for a team that has such expectations, and that's a rarity for a quarterback. So I actually think this win, if Green Bay pulls it out, will bode extremely well for the young quarterback going forward. Jayden Daniels is Jayden Daniels. I think we all expect certain things of him, but if Jordan Love comes out and he balls out, then it kind of legitimizes the Green Bay Packers even more.
Another storyline is that Dan Quinn has this great relationship with Micah Parsons. They were together in Dallas. I think Micah considered him somewhat of a father figure while they were with the Cowboys. And so I think if anybody knows how to limit Micah, it's going to be Dan Quinn. So I kind of am interested to see how the Commanders are able to stop him, so to speak. I don't know if you really can, but you can limit him. You can try. You can try.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Listen, I think the Commanders have some great weapons. I think adding Deebo this offseason is going to do wonders for them. And he's actually somebody from a physicality standpoint who I feel like can maybe do those some like they have some interesting things that they can do. They can like chip Micah quite a bit coming off that line, especially with a big body receiver in Deebo, which is abnormal, but I feel like it's something that the Commanders will end up doing. I also feel like they got a slew of weapons that they don't have to be overly concerned with Micah. I think Jayden Daniels get that ball out quickly and also showcase some of his own mobility. And I feel like the Commanders are going to win. I told you earlier before the season even kicked off that the Commanders defense actually was the defense that I was most excited about coming into this offseason. I feel like they added some pieces. I have the utmost respect for Bobby Wagner, of course. And just everything that they're doing over there is just so counter to what I, as a former Giants fan, it's so counter to what everything that I want to see the Commanders do. I don't want to see them have this level of success, but it's clear that they are destined for greatness in my estimation.
I do want to ask you about New York, but I before we get to that, again, I think that this is a massive test for Jayden Daniels. I think, he, like I mentioned, he already kind of proved to us last season what he can do. He was rookie offensive player of the year. And so if you can go into Lambeau, really, I'm serious. If you can go into Lambeau Thursday night football and beat Green Bay and beat this defense that has Micah Parsons now added to it, like I really feel like it's
Lambeau in early September. It's not Lambeau in like November. You go into Lambeau when it's cold, okay, when it's the frozen tundra. Then you saying something.
Yeah, but it gets cold in Washington.
Not like Green Bay cold. I
know, but it still gets cold. It's not like.
Yeah, but I'm just we all recognize like Lambeau Field it defines winter football. Like
No,
when
I
you
get
the
it.
frozen tundra, yeah.
No,
So
I get it.
I'm just saying, like in September, early September, I think it's a lot easier to navigate the elements, assuming that there's no rain or whatever,
Right.
in Lambeau in early September than
But
it
I
is in
mean, I'm just
November.
talking about just the environment, the
Okay,
atmosphere of
got it.
Lambeau is what I'm
You
trying to
don't think
say.
the elements are a part of the atmosphere? Though? Like that's the
No,
thing
no,
that
no.
people be like, I
It
don't want to go
is.
to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it is. But we
Okay.
we don't have the elements in this particular matchup. So I'm just talking about the atmosphere itself.
Understood.
Now back to the Giants.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of discourse about the quarterback situation there and why many fans are believing that Jackson Dart should get the start after a somewhat slow performance from Russell Wilson. What do you think as a former fan?
As a retired Giants fan, I'm
Yeah.
in alignment. I think gone are the days in which you had to like slow play and bring your rookie along, your young players along. I think in this iteration of sports, and not even just in football, basketball, this is applicable as well. You just throw your young guys out there and you see what they can do. There's something to be said about understanding how to play the game of football by playing the game of football. You can only practice with so much. Like you're not going to absorb Russell Wilson's game because you're not Russell Wilson. Like you can learn some things from him. You can maybe gain some perspective, but ultimately like the concept or idea that, you sit behind a guy and you study him and all of that is just like, it's null and void. These kids are machines. They're products from a very early age that are developed and cultivated. And so at this stage of life, these guys that are rookies are so much further along than rookies historically are. You just throw him out there and you see what he can do. The guy seems to be a magnet. He seems to have an energy about him, a swag about him. And so, yeah, it's time to just see what he can do out there. Let's see what the connection between he and Malik Neighbors looks like. And let's just see. Because Russell Wilson, I mean, you know what you're going to get out of that.
Right. And Malik is tired. He had to come out and say, I got rest in B face. Don't worry about me.
Is he the NFL's Angel Reese? It's like,
who?
That was good,
Malik Neighbors?
Yeah, he can play.
Anyways. Do you feel like, though, if Russell Wilson is benched at this stage of his career, that is pretty much a wrap?
Yeah, I do. I think, unless he's going to be a mentor somewhere and be third string, backup. But then you still got Joe Flacco in the league. And Joe Flacco played well last week. So I don't know. Sometimes there's these guys who hang around for a long time. I've heard some things about how teammates react and respect Russell Wilson. That doesn't necessarily make it sound like he's the best locker room guy. But if he's able to somewhat change his personality, then maybe he is a guy who sticks around for a long time. Do you think that they should go straight to Jackson Dart, or do you feel like they should give Jameis an opportunity to play, though?
Let me tell you something. I love Jameis. Even though Jameis beat my Auburn Tigers in the national championship, I was there in Pasadena. Anyways, don't bring me back. I love Jameis, but no. I think you're right, because if you drafted Jackson Dart, this is supposed to be your quarterback of the future. Like, y'all don't need to keep going back. I think that Jameis is there in the event that somebody breaks a leg, knock on wood. You know what I mean? Like, he's just your backup. And I think that Jameis is okay with that. And that's going to be my point about Russell, is that he comes into situations saying, I'm going to be the starter. He went to New York saying, I'm going to start. I'm not coming off the bench. I'm not a backup to anybody. So I think that, unfortunately, I think it will be the end of the road if he goes into teams saying, I need to start, because he probably won't be the starter anymore. He will be a mentor backup.
Signing both of those guys in the offseason, I still can't understand why you bring in Jameis and Russell Wilson knowing that you drafted Jackson Dart. Like, it just seems like a bad mix.
Just a learning situation. Maybe they just wanted some veteran guys. Jameis brings...
And those are completely contrasting vets. Like,
and maybe that's the thing. Like,
okay,
maybe they brought them in to kind of have these two different elements of a quarterback that they're building. Like, they're like molding him. So they're like, okay, we want you to have the personality like Jameis. We want you to be able to command this locker room like Jameis and eat, W's or whatever they be doing. But then I want maybe like the poise, maybe like the poise and maybe like the play style of Russell is what I'm trying to say. Maybe they're trying to,
bringing in two black quarterbacks as the football Giants is, I'm curious. I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering some things. That's all.
Anyways, we want to hear from you all, though. Drop down in the comments and let us know what you think. One of this really great Thursday night football matchup. You all need to be tuned in. Drop down in the comments and let us know about the game. Like, I wish we could like live tweet or something. And then also Rodney's Giants in their quarterback situation. Who
Those ain't my
Giants.
You're not putting that on me.
Should it be Jackson Dart or should Russell Wilson continue to have an opportunity there? Understand?
Those are not my guys, but you all can make sure you tap into our newsletter as well. That link is in our bio. Tap in. We're giving you all things going on in the world of sports. Don't be trying to put them on me.